Hello YouTubers, welcome back to another Tesla electric car video with me, Adam Well Informed. The rumour mill has started about a Tesla app store on Twitter from Tesla Scope, but also from a couple of alternative Twitter sources from Sawyer Merritt and Holmar's blog. The rumour is an in-car Tesla app store has apparently been in development since May 2021. The rumour sounds great, but does the rumour have any legs to it? So I started doing my own research and I came across this branded but slightly sketchy looking website. I wasn't entirely convinced this website was legitimate, but a quick Who Is Me search states it's actually a Tesla website, and Google actually backs up that story too. But something tells me I probably shouldn't have found this webpage, but just because they own the rights to the page doesn't necessarily mean they'll go through with it, does it? We both know Elon Musk and Tesla can keep secrets, and they can actually hide their cards quite close to their chests if they really want to. For example, when the second-gen Tesla Roadster was announced, that was a complete surprise to many at the time. Another more present example is the new 4680 Tesla Model Y coming from Giga Texas. Deliveries are anticipated by the end of March, but we don't even know the spec differences despite being just weeks away. So whilst this is a rumour, may never actually materialise, do you really believe one of the most innovative companies on the planet right now stumbled accidentally on installing crisp HD portrait screens, installing AMD MCUs and GPUs on par with the PS5, and let's not forget the ability to connect to game controllers? All this hardware capability without any end goal or mission in mind? We even previously saw a Tesla branded game controller at the Model S Plaid event. You may also remember the Cyberpunk 2077 demo running at the same Model S Plaid event. Nothing was ever announced on the controller or game for that matter, but whilst nothing is official until it's confirmed, in my eyes at least, these are stepping stones and an indication to create a market leading entertainment system right on the home screen of the Tesla Model 3, Tesla Model Y, Tesla Model S and Tesla Model X. You don't commit resources and spend money on expensive chips like that for just navigation, fart mode and Netflix. It's just like buying your parents or grandparents an Alienware gaming PC for internet browsing and word processing. That being unless your grandma streams GTA 5 on Twitch, which does apparently happen, but I'm not aware of anyone's grandma that does that. If you do, well, hats off to you. But in most cases, the only reason you'd buy that gaming PC is if you had intentions to use it for its gaming capabilities. Otherwise, it's a complete waste of money as you've not fulfilled its full potential. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and I also believe that introducing the new AMD chips for the latest Tesla Model 3 and Tesla Model Y deliveries was pre-planned months in advance. The current Intel Atom processor copes just fine, noting that app load-ups could always be quicker. But the user interface is still very responsive, with more powerful processing and graphical performance. That then opens a door up to more power-hungry apps and games that could become available on an official Tesla app store. If this whole thing is true, did you know that Tesla won't actually be the first vehicle to have an app store? I drove the Polestar 2 just over a month ago, and I experienced the Google Earth firsthand with its integrated Google Play Store. I was actually really happy to see it present on the Polestar 2. It was a key differentiating factor compared to the whole Tesla range. However, the store itself was very sparse and not supported with a huge catalogue of apps just yet. This is probably due to there being a lack of vehicles supporting the Google OS at that given time. I believe the Polestar 2's case, they have sold roughly just 40,000 Polestar 2s between 2020 and 2021. According to this Inside EV article. Therefore, having an in-car app store is a relatively new concept, and because of the low user base, there just really isn't that incentive for a third-party developer to commit money and then human resources to it just yet. That then leads me to Tesla's potential business case for a Tesla app store. So before I go ahead and discuss their business case and detail the very apps you could see on your Tesla screen with this app store, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you also want an app exclusive right now, how about becoming a closed beta participant in my newly produced eCompCalc smartphone app? I've jointly produced eCompCalc to allow users to compare vehicle running costs in seconds. so you can get a great indication of how much cheaper EVs are against ICE alternatives in seconds. You can show your ICE friends just how much money they could save with an EV. It will be available primarily to UK, US and European users first, but whilst we are making optimizations for EU and US users, if you're based in the UK and want to try the closed beta, please go ahead to eCompCalc's social media channels in the description of the video. Start following us on Instagram and Twitter and drop us a DM with your email address. We'll then forward you the unique instructions to gain access to the app and how to provide the crucial feedback that we are after to make the whole experience the best it can be. Let's get back to the video, and boy, I'm looking forward to finishing this video. About 1 minute ago, I said the Polestar 2 had sold around 40,000 units, and while Tesla has produced just under 2 million vehicles since 2013, and with anticipated deliveries for 2022 due to be well over 1 million units, therefore we could have 3 million Teslas produced and in circulation heading into 2023. Therefore, user base can grow considerably if the predicted 50% year-on-year growth continues over the coming years. So now we know there are millions of potential users that could have access to the App Store. That then changes the whole dynamic for a third party as to whether it actually is worth devoting monetary and labour resources to making a dedicated app just for a Tesla App Store. Elon Musk has previously expressed his dissatisfaction with Apple's App Store stance on fees and took sides with Epic Games during the iconic Apple vs Epic Games legal battle not too long ago. How Tesla then decides to charge its consumers could be in a number of different ways. They could use a standard pay-as-you-go approach with free and premium price versions, just like we see with the Google and Apple's App Store for your smartphones right now. This already is a familiar experience to its consumers. However, I just don't see Tesla settling on like-for-like basis. Therefore, they could offer a simultaneous approach with a monthly subscription plan, similar to how premium connectivity works right now. Maybe they use this opportunity to add a new tier of premium connectivity, maybe Premium Plus connectivity maybe. Yes, I know it's a crappy name. I'm just literally setting a tone here. Stick with me. You'd get all the benefits of premium connectivity, plus for an extra $5 or for £5, you gain the ability to download a set pool of premium apps for free. If you've ever used PSN Plus and PlayStation consoles, they utilise this exact approach. You get a free full game each month, but that free game is then replaced each month by another new full game. If you cancel your subscription, you lose access to that free premium app you've just downloaded. This also creates an incentive to try new apps and keeps users signed up to premium for the fear of losing access to the previously downloaded apps. Alternatively, they could opt for a straight Netflix style or Xbox Game Pass subscription approach. You'd still have to pay for this theoretical Premium Plus subscription monthly, but every premium app is then free to use. It's a distribution model that's had success in other sectors, and we know Tesla loves software. With the creation of the new software subscriptions section of the smartphone app, God, that was a bit of a tongue twister, I think it's fair to say they could well opt for some sort of subscription payment. This then leads me to consider the implications and issues of the App Store and if it's structurally safe to do so. I think one of the biggest concerns about having an option on a car is data privacy and system security. Data-wise though, you don't have to input new personal data or credit card information because Tesla owners already have a Tesla account with the home address details and credit card details attached. Therefore, you could set payments for any premium priced apps to require either your passcode, a new PIN, or even utilize the in-car camera for some sort of facial recognition approval like Apple's Face ID. However, that would be a whole new feature and probably needs to be aligned to a Tesla profile. But this is why I think they will avoid that pay-as-you-go approach and not have premium priced apps. Elon is a fan of removing barriers, and an iconic saying I know he says is like, the best input is no input. So removing the payment screen technically allows three things to happen. One, the owner is saving time as they can jump straight into that game they just downloaded. Two, it reduces overexposure of personal data. You don't have to input more payment data or passwords, etc. And three, It increases the number of options to the owner because they know any Tesla game or Tesla app is then available to download. Nothing is off limits as such. In addition to all of that, Tesla has two-step verification, so therefore they already have core security systems in place to make the transition to a app store easier, but crucially in a secure way. Another doomsday situation we might consider is, could the car be compromised in some sort of virus and take control of the FSD computer? Picture Skynet vs Crazy Taxi. As ludicrous as that may sound, you may take comfort that that might not be possible from a hardware perspective. I mean, could you imagine the carnage that would create? Luckily, the FSD computer and the MCU for the entertainment side of things are completely separate, so whilst they are locked inside the same car, they're simply just not connected to each other. I suspect every new app could run a Tesla certified verification system before being granted permission to be publicly available on the App Store. This not only has security benefits, but Tesla can actively monitor what's publicly available on the Tesla app platform, ensuring each app can be downloaded in full confidence. My final potential issue before getting into my fun app ideas is storage. I suspect the onboard computer can store a bare minimum of additional apps, but we may need to utilize external storage via the data USBs in the car, like the one that's in the glove box. We'd probably need to upgrade that free 64GB memory stick that we have for Sentry mode if it is the case, as storage limitation could impact the overall experience if we have a limit on the number of additional apps we can have. Now I want to move on to getting your mind onto visualizing what a Tesla App Store could hold for us as Tesla owners, from productivity apps, casual apps, games, business related apps, so you can really understand how this single feature can benefit the driver and ultimately what there is to gain by activating this feature in the first place. The whole App Store argument will make more sense if Robotaxis becomes a reality, as there'll be a greater need to be entertained at that point. But even without the Robotaxi situation, there'll be benefits to be had by having additional apps. And that's why I want to plant a seed on this, because there are so many features you want but don't have access to right now. But there could be an app for that. Damn, I'm good. I'm pretty sure that sounds familiar. This isn't just about playing games or watching Netflix. There is a broad spectrum of ideas that could become a reality, from improving the driving experience to holding video calls. And that's mainly why I have completed this video, so you get an idea just how useful it could be to have an app store. Let's look at casual and productivity first. Looking at the apps we have access to today, we can get a direct comparison to that app, but we also want to think indirectly, as that's where some of the most unusual and unexpected features could lie. So directly we could have access to different music apps such as YouTube Music or maybe even Apple Music. I've seen more recently that Apple was open to Android users having the FaceTime app, and allowing users to have access to Apple Music at any time could be beneficial to both Tesla and Apple. Before you get your hopes up and think Apple CarPlay or Android Auto could come, I don't see a reason why you'd want that in the first place anyway. Tesla already allows you to take calls, send messages directly without the App Store present. A car-friendly official WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger could mitigate another reason why Apple CarPlay or Android Auto just isn't needed. If you're stationary, you can read the messages. If you're driving the car, it can read out the message and you can dictate a response back if you want. The Apple OS already does that now for text messages, so expanding that same functionality to these alternative messaging apps would allow the driver to be more engaged in driving and avoid the need to look at the phone screen. There's definitely a safety argument to be debated here, but that's for you to decide, not me. I'm just putting it out there in the first place. We could have a car-related section, maybe an app that delivers battery-related information such as battery temperature and degradation stats for those data-seeking geeks, or just like me really, or just access to track mode for non-performance cars. The possibilities and opportunities are there to be had if this rumour comes to fruition. Productivity-wise, what about Teams, Zoom, FaceTime, directly using the car's camera? It probably should be restricted to no video while driving, but while supercharging, etc., the camera could be active and you can engage in that conference. Very useful to those reps, advisors, consultants, if you have a job on the road, that sort of thing. Indirectly, we could have a silly photo booth app, like taking advantage of that onboard camera again. This could take photos or videos with filters, and then you can upload them directly to social media, even record your karaoke session. I mean, how scary could that be if you decide to belt out you're in a Britney and you accidentally hit post to Facebook or, one of your social media platforms straight after? I mean, having that video out there in the wild, it's probably a great marketing path for Tesla, probably not so much for your singing career. But you get the gist of things. Different possibilities are everywhere. Tesla games will be utilised more than you think in a Robotaxi environment. I've already found a way to stream console-based games on my Intel Atom-based Model 3. I'll put that video on the screen now so you can see me play Counter-Strike on my Tesla Model 3. But imagine you have Xbox Game Pass, you book a Robotaxi, it turns up, you then jump back into the game you just played at home but via the Tesla screen. You'll never be away from the action on the road. Without a Robotaxi function, it is less valuable as you'd need to be stationary, so you're sort of limited to visits away from home and maybe during fast charging sessions. Still, the option to stream console-based games waters my mouth like the smell of Red Bull. I can see casual games being more popular than console-like games purely down to the time and attention span required to play the game in your car. With casual games, you can stop and pick up at any time. Think Candy Crush or Doodle Jump. Console-like games will probably only be a practical option when you're not required to be at the wheel, like in a Robotaxi situation. Tesla video is way more clear-cut for me. We have Netflix, YouTube, Twitch already. If these are possible, then I see no reason why you can't have Amazon Prime Video, BBC iPlayer, or any other TV streaming service in your local market. Naturally, you'll need your own login for that service, but you'd still have the ability to access it on demand. Social wise, we can casually flick through TikTok. Some US users already have that function already. Flick through Reddit, Pinterest, even Twitter. Whatever socials you use, I can't see why it can't be done. But naturally, you can't access it during a driving session for safety purposes. So conclusion, I'm really conscious about time. I don't want to let it go on for too long, so I'm going to wrap this up. The Tesla App Store undoubtedly holds a wide range of possibilities. No car manufacturer has a software and hardware capable package like Tesla does. As I mentioned before, I personally see them leaving the breadcrumbs for an app store at this very moment of time. I don't see it as a matter of if this rumour is true, I see it more as when it will be released. What do you folks think? Is this going to happen? What apps do you want to see if it is true? Let me know in the comment section below, even if it's just the word Tesla App Store, and I'll give you a cheeky thumbs up. That's it from me this week, folks. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to follow the socials in the description below. You've been great. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.